Hey y'all, I'm Kiara Butler and welcome to Generation Rising, where we discuss hard-hitting topics that our diverse communities face every day. This summer, the Papito Opportunity Connection partnered with Lifespan and Brown University to give 20 high school students of color a paid summer fellowship in the cancer labs alongside cancer researchers. The goal is to motivate a new generation of diverse cancer researchers and doctors. And guess what? The Papito Foundation is one of our funders. Joining us today from the Future Gen, the fellowship is Dr. Sendurai Mani, Gabriell Leon, and Alexander Herrera. Hi, how are you all?
Hi. Hi. Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for coming. And there's three of you. I'm excited. Are you excited?
Of course, yes, thank you.
All right, so let's do some more formal introductions. Where do you want to start? Alex? Tell me who you are and what brought you to the Future Gen program.
So I come from Central Falls High School over in Central Falls. And I was taught my science teacher had originally told me about the program. Mm-hmm. He, gave me the opportunity to sign up for it. And I'd kind of forgotten that I signed up for it in the first place. Until a couple months later, I had gotten an email that I was accepted, thankfully.
Yes.
And I got to start a great new journey. Over the summer, I worked with I shadowed multiple doctors, such as Dr. Almhana Pelkovitz. He works over at the Miriam, and a bunch of other great doctors.
You good? All right, Dr. Mani?
Hi, my name is Sendurai Mani, and I'm the Associate Director for Translational Oncology at Legarota Cancer Center. I am also the Dean's Chair for Translational Oncology at the medical school. I recently moved from MD Anderson Cancer Center in Texas to Brown University. Last year, when I came for an interview, I got an opportunity to meet with Dr. Howard Safran and also John Tarantino, the managing trustee of Papito Opportunity Connection. Mm-hmm. They explained to me about the Future Gen. And what an amazing concept.
Yeah.
What an amazing thing that we are going to do for the next generation of scientists, the doctors. So they explained to me. With that, I become part of this group to see how we can help the next generation through educating them on research, on clinical, and etc. So that's the way I got involved, and I'm loving it.
All right, Gabrielle?
So my name is Gabriell Leon. I go to St. Raphael Academy in Pawtucket. So when I first heard about this program, I heard about it pretty late, but that's okay. One of the guidance counselors, she had pulled me out of chemistry class, and she had told me there's this amazing program coming up where kids your age from all different high schools get to come and partake in an amazing program where they get to experience a little bit in the medical field. And I, from a young age, knew that I've always wanted to work in medicine. Because I always love helping people. So when I found out, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to test that theory. I wasn't exactly sure what was gonna happen during the program, but I was excited and optimistic either way. So when I found out like a week later that I got accepted, I was beyond grateful for what I would experience this summer. And after this summer, I know now, like, I'm even more grateful for the things that I've gotten to do this summer with all these amazing doctors.
Yeah, so what does a typical day look like?
So a typical day in the program would look like we'd come into the hospital some kids would get there early around like 7 a.m., anywhere between 7 and 8 a.m. Mm-hmm. We would meet upstairs in the George Library and talk to our amazing coordinator, Annabelle. She would give us our assignments for the day and tell us like which doctor we would be shadowing, where we would be going. We would get our lab coats from the locker room, our stethoscopes, and then we would meet with the...
That's fancy.
Yeah. And then we would go and meet with the doctor. We would do like a formal introduction, and then we would start our day. So that's typically what a day would look like every single day when we come in.
And what about you, Alex? What does your day look like?
It was very similar. I usually got there around 8 a.m. We all met up as a group, the Future Gen scholars, and we would get dispersed throughout an hour maybe or so. It always depends, since some of us went to the Miriam Hospital, and then some of us stayed at the Rhode Island Hospital and shadowed the doctors. in the beginning few weeks, I got partnered with the doctors over at the Miriam Hospital. So I usually would go at around 12, I think. And then I would get to shadow the doctors for the day. We would, on average, I would check about 3 to 4 patients with the doctor. And after that, we would have about an hour lunch and then continue shadowing the doctors. We sometimes got switched off, just depending on the doctor's schedules, and so we're not just sitting there for the day. And then we got to, just discuss with the doctors about the day, at least I did. And we went back if we had gone to Miriam, or we just all met up again at the end and just talked about our day.
Yeah. And Dr. Mani, is that how the program's designed? Is that how it's supposed to go, what they said?
Absolutely. The goal is to make them get exposed such that, for example, when I was growing up, the knowledge has become a power. And so here, if you expose them at a young age, they get interested and excited. So then they follow this path. And then through that, we can have more doctors of color and more doctors. So yes, that's the way it has been designed, and that's the way it's going well.
Look, I'm excited. I want a white coat too. What type of cancer research did you all see or explore?
I saw a lot of hematology doctors.
You got to tell me what that is. I don't know what that is.
So primarily blood cancer, any cancer that's found in throughout the blood vessels, the arteries, and stuff like that. I also got to see lung cancer, as well as lower intestine cancer. I forgot the name for it, but it was all very interesting to see. I don't think I ever would have been able to understand how the cancer works if I hadn't got into this program. And it was all just it was a surreal experience, honestly. Yeah. I never realized that I'm genuinely doing this and not just just a day-to-day thing.
What about you? What did you get to see?
So a lot of the cancers I got to experience was based on the doctors that I was shadowing, but just like Alex, I got to see a lot of hematology and pathology doctors, which have to do with cancers in the blood, but I did also get to see breast cancer, lung cancer, head and neck, which was very interesting because some of these cancers are ones you've never even heard of or know so much about, but the fact that you get the exposure on seeing what these cancers are like and then having the doctors teach you about them, it kind of helps you, you take in that knowledge and it helps you bring it back and give back to your community, as in teaching people on how to avoid it and teaching other people about them and making them aware of these cancers. But it was definitely, like Alex said, a surreal experience because the exposure. Working with the pathology doctors, you get to go into the labs and see what they do, how they test these cancers and study them. So if you had told me any day without seeing it what a lab was like, I maybe would have just dismissed it. But being able to actually go in and get to partake and get a hands-on experience, it really changed it. And it really changes your perspective on different things that you want to do in the medical field. You may think you want to do one thing, but being able to see a whole variety of medicine, it really changes shift your perspective on maybe something you want to do in the future.
Mm-hmm. And Dr. Mani, you talked about this a little bit. You came from Texas, got a job. When did the program start, and what was the main focus?
So it's all started when the Papito Opportunity Connection, as you said in the beginning, supported this program when Pat Tarantino, who was John Tarantino's wife, when she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. She was going into these hospitals and getting treatment. During that time, she realized that people of community of colors, they were working there, and then she wanted to educate them or help them to come to a different path. So she was trying to recruit them to Papito Opportunity Connection, POC. And then through that, then they realized that now if you can help them more, it would help, you will be able to build the community better. So after Pat passed away, the POC established, or the John Tarantino and Howard Safran, who is an amazing doctor at Lifespan, they worked together and created this program. And when they were creating the program, that's when I got interviewed, and
That's when you got
that's when I
interviewed.
got into it. And I enjoyed this concept because one of the major reasons why we have a disparity in, for example, in cancer, is because there's something called SDOH. It's called a social determinants of health, which is where you live, what do you know, how much you know, things like that really makes a huge impact in what happens. So the future gen is trying to make a dent in this SDOH so that we kind of create equal opportunity for everyone. So that's what they dreamt and they started, and I'm very happy to be part of.
Yeah, I'm sure they're happy to have you. How would you two say that the program has helped you in achieving your goals or even finding your goals?
I think finding a goal, it definitely helped me find what I actually want to do as a career. I've always had a struggle with that. And I think this program has helped me kind of find my way into the medical field, which, thankfully, I'm not just kind of living day to day, but actually kind of with a goal in mind. I do want to go into kind of cancer research or anything like that now. Yeah.
What about you, Gabrielle?
I feel like this program has definitely helped me see, I really do enjoy medicine and I'm passionate about it. I've always known that I loved helping people. I've always been a people's person, and helping people has always been a main thing for me. So medicine really struck an interest for me. This program really helped me see all the possibilities of medicine and just helped me love it even more. It did make me realize that I possibly want to do pediatrics one day because I love working with kids, and being able to see the amazing work that these doctors do and how they work with patients on a day-to-day basis is just really, it touched me really on how they do these things, and it made me see that that's something I really would get excited to wake up for to do in the future.
I'm about to get all in your business. So how did this program connect you to wanting to be a pediatrician?
So this program connected me to wanting to be a pediatrician because they do have Hasbro Hospital. So some doctors in oncology, they work with children as well. So going there, they do have, you are able to shadow doctors who work in the Hasbro unit, so you're able to see some of the kids. So it is really nice seeing how the doctors talk to them, comfort them. They talk to them almost like a companion, a peer, and then they make them feel like welcome, inclusive. They talk to everybody in the room. And seeing that, it really just inspires you. It's just something it's a wholesome moment. It really does just touch your heart. So being able to see that on a day-to-day basis, it really does make me more passionate about what I want to do in the future, which was one of the reasons why I really love this program.
And Dr. Mani, they've both named hospitals. They've named 3 hospitals already. Do they, in the application process, tell you where they want to be placed or what they're interested in? How do you know where to send the students?
So it's a kind of we have a program, the program coordinators, they make a decision based on their interest and based on the trainers and all that. So most of the time the goal is to give them a good exposure on various areas, and which are otherwise not possible for them. And not only bringing them to the lab or to the clinic and make them see what is a histology, what is a pathology, how various things in clinical decisions are made. And in addition, you also get them exposed to, like they said, hematology and oncology, learn about various cancers. And ultimately, when they become doctors, and we want to make sure that they go and tell their community that you are in safe hands and we are here to help you. So that's the ultimate goal. We want them to go back to their community and help their community wherever they come from. So we get them exposure such that at a young age, so that they are aware about it and they can bring this information back to their community.
Thank you for that. Gabby, what would you say, and I'm giving you nicknames already.
It's okay.
What would you say is the most enriching or memorable part of the program?
I'd say the most enriching and memorable part of the program is being able to shadow the doctors and see the patients when they find out good news. It's just, I've seen patients cry with joy about finding out good news about their cancers. That's really been like something, I mean, you hear about it and you're happy, but seeing it is something that, I don't know, it's just a moment that takes your breath away, really, how these doctors can change people's lives with the amazing work that they do. I think that's the most surreal thing I can say I've seen all summer, is really impacting these people's lives and their health. Like, it's very important. Your life is everything and you only have one. So the fact that these doctors are working every day to try and implement your life and make that one more year count, it really does, it makes a big difference.
What about you, Alex?
I gotta agree with Gabby. Those are some of the most memorable moments. I do enjoy actually meeting up with the rest of the Future Gen group and being able to discuss with them about how their days were and getting to know them better. Because I feel like I don't think I would have met any of these people if I wasn't in this program.
Yeah.
Such as like Gabby and like the other around 16 or 17 people in the program.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed working with them throughout the summer, and it's just been a great experience.
What about the other side of that, when you had to deliver bad news? Did you all experience that? How did you prepare?
Being able to hear like the bad side, it does show you that there's pros and cons in medicines and things that you'll have to bear. It was very sad, but you learn how to, the doctors teach you how to deal with those situations, and then after the doctors, they talk to you after, see how you feel, and then you definitely find ways to cope. But also I feel like being able to see that, it makes you more grateful for the life that you have, your health, and then it shows you like what these doctors are doing to change and know that implementing change, like change is happening. But it definitely is very tough in the moment, but you try not to take it with you, and then the doctors will definitely debrief and talk to you afterwards to see how you feel. But you definitely learn to take from it. I know, like, seeing hearing some sad news, it definitely has taught me to be more grateful for the life I have and the good health that I do have. So being able to experience that, it's definitely something that has waken me up in a good way.
Yeah, and Dr. Mani, I saw you about to answer the question, so.
No, they are, you know, I'm just amazed by the way they are, you know, they're putting the perspective, which is true, right? It's very difficult in life when, you know, you have a good news and a bad news, and it's difficult to deliver a bad news. It's very easy to deliver a good news, but how do you deliver? And then realizing that, you know, that concept at this young age and getting them exposed, what kind of difficulty a doctor could face and how can you overcome that, which is amazing. And so this is very true. So we are fighting. So I am in the bench side. We do research on trying to understand how cancer develops, why cancer don't respond to treatment. How can we make the tumor respond to treatment? So we kind of work with the doctors, and so we make sure they get an exposure on this side as well on the research, so that one is delivering the medicine, another one is finding the medicine. So we do both. So these kids get exposed to both how to find medicine, how to discover medicine, and how to deliver the medicine, how to interact with the patients. So it's kind of a very comprehensive program in that sense. That's what we are trying to make them kind of provide to these kids.
And what type of support are you all expecting to receive, or what type of support do you all provide once the program's over or once a student goes to college?
So the students get, right now they get a stipend for this program right now, and they get to come twice, not just one time. They get 2 times they can shadow a doctor, 2 years. And this program right now, thanks to Barbara Papito and the POC for kindly supporting this program with a $10 million gift. And this goes for 5 years program, which means it'll run for 6 years.
Yeah.
So their dream is to make it national rather than Rhode Island, and also open it to anyone beyond community of colors, because there is people underprivileged in various communities. It's kind of the one to reach out to beyond nationally for most other people. And so we would be able to help at least 20 kids per term, and then 5 years, that's 100 kids, and expand it more or renew it once we see the success. And we could see the success already from these kids.
And so for students who are interested in applying, Alex, do you mind telling us about the application process?
Sure.
What to expect?
A lot to expect is just a lot of paperwork. There was a lot of paperwork involved.
I was like, it's easy. It's just a lot of paperwork.
I mean, it isn't necessarily hard. This is like a program that is also combined with a transport program as well as CNA and nurse. So I remember my first day walking into this workforce development is what they call it, is what the program's under. And I remember walking into the room the first day, there was about 80 kids in there. And I was expecting to get 20 kids. I opened the door and I see 80 kids. I look around, I'm just like, I should not be here. This is not the right room. Because I'm expecting 20 kids, there's a good 60 onto whatever I'm expecting.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big thing to expecting that, so someone doesn't get surprised. Because I definitely was like, am I in the wrong room? I'm not sure if I'm in the right one. As well, we get to talk with the doctors. So during our April vacation, we get to talk with the doctors, and that's how we get to meet them. We get a tour of the Rhode Island hospital, and I think that's just a large part of the application process to expect. It's a lot of moving back and forth with our program director, Annabelle, and signing stuff.
Yeah, and I can be in any grade?
It's primarily for 10th grade and above.
10th grade and
Yeah.
above. And do I have to pay any money?
No.
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 Is there anything you would add to that, Gabby, about the process?
So another thing, as Alex mentioned, we did have the workforce development. So every Wednesday we would have workshops with Alexis Devine and her team, which she's an amazing woman, and her team is very amazing, so kind and welcoming. There is a lot of kids, like Alex said. The first day I walked in, I was like, oh wow, I was not expecting that. But everybody's super welcoming, and at the end you become almost as like this big family at the end. You learn things such as how to build a resume, how to write a proper email. They teach you skills that you'll use in your future. They set you up for success, basically. Yeah. And they teach you about how to figure out who you are as a person, what you want to do. They make you really channel your inner person, which I feel like is amazing. And they make you have you connect with other people. You get to meet many other amazing people, learn about where they're from, what their interests are. So it's really amazing getting to do that as well. Like not only see the hospital aspect, but like the professional things that come behind it, and how to connect with the people you're going to be working with, your colleagues, who you're going to be spending your day-to-day time with every day of your life in the future one day. So that's really a cool process or part of it.
Well, guess what? Y'all are cool people. How can we stay in touch? Social media handles? Are you on social media?
Yeah.
Website?
Yes, I'm in a social media, and my Twitter handle is @Sendurai Mani, and I'm on LinkedIn and Instagram. And just wanted to kind of promote this concept, and Generation RI, Future Gen RI is the website where one could find more information about the Future Gen.
Y'all got any handles y'all want to throw out there? No pressure. No?
Well, like he said, we have our the social medias for the program, but this is only year 1 out of 2, so we will be back. So I'm sure you'll be able to see us around a lot as well throughout the program.
Yes, and thank you all so much, but we have run out of time. And so again, I want to thank today's guests, Dr. Mani, Gabriell Leon, and Alexander Herrera. You can watch past episodes anytime on watch.ripbs.org, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and X for the latest updates. And we have started a tradition, you all, where you can leave your mark on the board. So I'm going to have you all grab some chalk and head on over. You can write anything you want to. All right.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
and,
you.
Thanks to the PBS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Grab that chalk and head on over.